This is a highly significant week for our United Kingdom, and we will, of course, be covering the coronation of King Charles III throughout the show ahead of our 2-hour live special from Buckingham Palace tomorrow night. But it's also a highly consequential week in British politics. A week where the true colours of Slippery Starmer have been revealed to the electorate. To the extent, actually, where I believe it's now eminently fair to describe the man christened by the Daily Mail as Sir Flip-Flop as the least trustworthy Labour leader ever. It doesn't matter whether you're coming to this issue from the left or right of the Labour Party, or indeed where you sit on the wider political spectrum. I am not prepared to have a Prime Minister whose word is less meaningless than, say, The Guardian denying it's anti-Semitic. Time and again, Starmer has proven he is a shapeshifter who will say whatever is politically expedient in that particular moment in time. So this week, it was on the tuition fees flip-flop, a reversal which ended the frontline political career of failed Lib Dem Deputy PM Nick Clegg. But that's just the beginning of Mr Starmer's, and I'm going to say it here, actually, it's just the beginning of his lies. Watch.
We have to make the case for freedom of movement.
We don't want open borders. Freedom of movement has gone and it's not coming back.
I'm 100% behind Jeremy Corbyn.
You are now.
I am working with Jeremy Corbyn to try to win the next general election.
Were you pals?
Well, we were never friends in that sense.
You were never friends?
No. And we're committed to updating the GRA to introduce self-declaration for trans people.
Are you still committed to updating the Gender Recognition Act to allow self-identification for trans people?
If you're going to make reforms, you have to carry the public with you. And I think that's a very important message. And I think that's why it's clear that in Scotland there should be a reset of the situation.
So university tuition fees being scrapped will be in a Starmer manifesto?
Yes, that's why it's
the next
pledge.
election. OK.
It's a glaring anomaly that we still haven't moved on from tuition fees. In other words, that you are now going to abandon the pledge to abandon them. That is true, isn't it?
Well, I think we are going to set out a fairer solution. And Justin said,
but it won't be the abandoning of tuition fees, will it?
Well, we are likely.
And by the way, that package could have run for about the full hour. There's so many flip-flops to choose from. Now Starmer can't even give a straight answer about when he began talks with the woke blob's Boris Johnson witch hunter-in-chief Sue Gray about becoming his chief of staff.
Did you first approach Sue Gray to be your chief of staff?
Nick, I know her personally. I met her when I was Director of Public Prosecution.
Might I ask when you first approached her to be your chief of staff?
I've been on the lookout for a chief of staff for a little while now.
So when did you approach? Can I ask when you approached Sue?
Look,
if I may call her Sue?
I've been looking for a chief of staff for a number of weeks now.
I will try again, and obviously you don't have to answer, but when did you first contact Sue Gray about the possibility of becoming your chief of staff?
Well, Nick, that's going to be laid out by Sue.
But you can't tell me that.
Nick, nothing improper at all.
No, but you can't tell me when you first approached her.
I've been looking for a chief of staff for a little while, but there's nothing improper at all.
No, but just answer why you won't tell me when you first made contact with her.
I'm not going to go through lock, stock and barrel, but there's nothing improper.
If it's not improper, why won't you say, it was a month ago, Nick?
It was I've been looking for some time, and there's nothing improper in the slightest.
In fact, Sir Geir, as we discovered in a Westminster bombshell last night, Ms Gray has refused to be part of the Cabinet Office investigation into the crooked hiring, so she's not revealing the truth. And did the possible next Chancellor, robotic Rachel Reeves, have a straight answer today? Absolutely not.
This pledge is gone. You're not getting rid of tuition fees. What are you going to do?
But the truth is that the Conservatives have crashed the economy and delivered nothing by the way of economic growth. We have got to look again at what our priorities would be. Nobody can deny that the circumstances at the next general election in terms of growth and the challenges we face as a country are going to be very dire indeed.
So let's just be realistic about this situation. We now have a Labour leader whose pledges to his party mean nothing. I mean, he has to pretend every single day that he doesn't really despise his own deputy, Angela Scum Rayner. And this is all a real warning to our country about whether we can trust a word that Slippery Starmer spouts to us.